Y'all. Okay. To the summer I Turned Pretty. Season finale. Y'all. Oh my gosh. I can't even. My mind is blown. Spoilers for the record if those of you who haven't seen it, but I'll add that in the bio thing. But, oh my gosh. What in the world? As if love triangles can't get more complicated. I mean, if this show teaches us anything, teaches us a lot of lessons, but it also teaches us that love triangles always get complicated. Oh, and don't let a girl come between you and don't let a relationship, no matter who it is, come between you and your sibling. Because, that's messed up. But, you can still prevail and all that stuff, and it won't totally tear you apart. But let's be honest, Conrad and Jeremiah will never be the same again because of Belly. So let's just be honest, okay? We're all thinking that, so let's just be honest. Yeah, so, yeah, alright, so, yeah, season finale. I still can't believe it's over. I'm so thankful that we're getting a season 3, because, like, oh boy, like, we got to, we have to. Okay, so, I'm trying to remember where to start this thing, because there's a lot that happened in that episode. Okay, so how many of you were crying when it was like that flashback with Susanna in the hospital bed, in her hospital bed, but in her house, and Belly and Laurel came to see her, and then Belly started crying and Susanna started crying and all that stuff, like, like Susan's like, just like look out for Conrad and all that stuff. They were talking about how, Conrad was a butthead again. And Belly's like, well, don't worry, you can tell him yourself, you'll still be here. And Susanna gave her that look, and y'all, I promise you, I freaking lost it. Like, I freaking lost it. Like, I don't even know what to say. I freaking lost it. So, because I can admit that. Because, I mean, who didn't? I mean, literally, who didn't? But yeah, so that happened. I lost it because she's like, I love you, Belly, my special girl. And, when Laurel read that little bit of her book, and, like, Susanna was, like, there when Belly was, like, born and stuff, which I didn't know that, because I don't think it had ever really said that in the show thus far, which I think is really, really special, and I love how they paralleled that and how they waited until this moment to tell us, because it just makes it that much sweeter, and us love Susanna and appreciate her and Laurel's friendship that much more, which is pretty boss. I mean, they're both boss, so, but yeah, it was incredible though, like that parallel, like, you're my special girl, there's my special girl, like, oh my gosh, like, no, like, oh my goodness, like, and I still can't believe we just got one season with Susanna. Like, I mean, they played it out really well, they did, but also, I wish we got more, but it still works, it works, but we still miss her, but, I don't know, but, that happened, and then, that was freaking sad, and then, oh my gosh, okay, Staler is the one relationship that I've known was going to work since the beginning, really the beginning of this show. Well, yeah, of this show. Granted, we love Shayla. We all love Shayla. Season 1, we all love Shayla. Shayla and Steven were, like, the best they were. But, like, they were for season 1. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, Taylor and Steven were going to get together. Because she was, like, head over heels for him. And he was like, ew, no, like, you're my sister's best friend. Which would be a little weird. I feel like that would be weird, yeah. But, yeah. So, I don't know, but I love Taylor. Dude, Taylor, I love Taylor a lot. Taylor has grown so much as a character, like her character arc has grown so much from season 1 to season 2. She can still get on my nerves like crazy, yes, and Belly can too, but both their character arcs from season 1 to season 2 is phenomenal, honestly. And they're really good actors and all that. I still can't believe this is like Lola Tung's like first like acting gig. I don't know, first show. I don't know how to say that, but regardless, she's done a really good job. And Jeremiah, like, those ocean blue eyes. Like, when that, when at the end, when Conrad got back to college and all that stuff, and, then his roommate's there, like, hey, welcome back, dude, like, and that dude was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, and then Conrad told him, and he's like, oh, yeah, there was totally a vibe going on between them two, and, he's like, well, yeah, Jeremiah's like, those eyes, you can't stop staring at them, there's, like ocean blue eyes, like a Billie Eilish song, and I'm like, yeah, he is, honestly, he is, but yeah, he is, they're both, God's an artist, because they're both beautiful. They are both beautiful guys. But they're also, their hearts are so big. Like, Jeremiah's heart is so freaking big, and Conrad's is too. But now, I am so glad that, this happened, because I was Team Conrad. Yeah, Team Conrad. And, like, the first season I was, but because, that whole brooding bad boy mysterious vibe, he got going on, like, what's he thinking about and all that stuff, but then it got really annoying, and it was just not healthy, but also Conrad was going through a lot, so he was holding a lot, and a lot of secrets, and a lot of panic attacks from, because of that, which, fair enough, I hate that for him, but yeah, and then Jeremiah in this season, well, since the beginning, has always loved Belly, and treated her like a queen, and treated her the way she deserves to be treated, because he sees her for all that she is. So, that's really good, and Jeremiah's just been a great friend through all of it, and, even though I know it, like, killed him, like, a punch in the gut, when, like, she chose him, when she chose Conrad, but I'm really glad, I'm really happy that they got together in the finale. Like, dude, they got together, and then Jeremiah's like, Belly, this will not be a repeat of last summer. Like, I cannot go through that again. Like, all that stuff. And then they're at, like, this motel thing, or whatever, because, of course, they were going to be in this freaking motel, because, like, they can't, it's already so much awkward tension. Why not add, like, oh, there's a flood. Oh, y'all can't go back home, so you can't escape this. So why not just add, oh, y'all are just in one motel, just one freaking motel room. Just, because why not, right? Because why not? Yeah, because we're all about the drama. So, yeah. But, yeah, so that happened, and then, Jeremiah's talking to Conrad about that, about Belly, and is like, Jeremiah's like, dude, you still love her. Like, you still love her and all that stuff. Because Conrad was acting like such a jerk after he caught, Belly and Jeremiah making out and all that stuff after his test. And he was so excited when he called Steven and all that stuff. And I'm so happy for Conrad with school and they passed and all that stuff. Yeah, congrats for him with everything he's been through, honestly. They've all had a huge character arcs, from season 1 to season 2. They've all grown in their own ways. Yeah. And then, I'll be kind of pissed too. And Conrad acting like a jerk to hide that he's really hurt and all that stuff. But Jeremiah can see it. Because that's who Jeremiah is. Jeremiah doesn't get all, he gets caught in drama, but then not caught in drama, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but, it does. But, like, he doesn't need to get into the fight or whatever. Like, he says what, he just is blunt, but, it works. He tells the truth. But, yeah, and he's not afraid to call people out, and all that stuff. Which the people who love you should not be afraid to call you out, and you should be able to take it, and be like, okay. Even if you don't do it at first, eventually, you know what I mean? So, anyway, so Jeremiah was talking to Conrad near the vending machine about that. And he's like, dude, are you gonna, like, tell her and stuff? Like, dude, if you really do love her, like, and then he started getting tears in those ocean blue eyes and those ocean blue baby blue eyes. I'm like, oh, boy, don't. I'm like, oh, boy, don't. Jeremiah, don't. Like, don't. Like, you've had your heart broken by this girl. Like, it's insane. So, but he's like, dude, I love you enough to let her go. Like, no matter if it's what I want or not, I just want her to be happy. Like, dude. how more perfect can Jeremiah get? I am just saying. I mean, not perfect, but like just like just an amazing guy, honestly. So, but yeah. So, and he's like, no, like the fact that Jeremiah would be willing to walk away, even though because he has been in love with Belly forever, literally, and the fact that he is willing to walk away from that because no matter what he's feeling, he's willing to walk away, no matter what he's feeling, it's about Belly's happiness and all that. I just love that. That's just a green flag that's so like rare. That's such a rarity nowadays. It really is. To be able to do that, because that's what real love, the true love is like, no matter if it's family, family, friends, relationship, whatever it is, that's real love, doing what the other person needs, being that person, even if it means letting them go, to do what was best for them. So that happened, and then let's see, yeah, so they were talking, and that broke my heart. And then the next morning they get up, because of course Belly's in the motel bed, and then the two boys asleep on the floor, and either side, and I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, she's right smack dab in the middle, because that's literally this love triangle. And the cinematography with that, they did so well with that, honestly. Yeah, so, that happened, and then Belly wakes up, and Conrad's still asleep, but Jeremiah's gone, and she's like, boy. So she got up and brushed her hair, brushed her teeth, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then, she goes outside to look for Jeremiah, and then she's like, boy, where my boy at? Where my man at? Like, where you at, Jeremiah? Like, where you at? And, I'm like, and then she looks like everyone around the motel is like, hello, like, ocean blue eyes, like, oh, where you at? And then we see his car, and I'm like, oh, there you are, there you at. And then she's like, I thought you left. And he's like, I went to go get breakfast. I figured you'd be hungry. I'm like, ah. Like Jeremiah thing. Like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Like, regardless, I mean, he's a great boyfriend, but regardless, it's just good manners. I mean, Susanna raised these boys. She raised them correctly, honestly. But yeah. So, but, I mean, Jeremiah's just great for a lot of reasons. But, so that happened, and then Billy's like, okay. So, I talked to Conrad last night, and then Jeremiah's like, hey, Bells, just want to let you know, it will not be a repeat of what happened last summer. Like, if you choose him, I'm not, because she's like, and then she's like, what am I thinking right now? And he's like, I don't know. And then, like, this parallel thing starts with, the two of them and all that stuff. And then with scenes of the two of them and all that stuff through both seasons, which I love. And I love the scenes they picked and the timing of everything and all that. I love that. They did a good job on that. So, and then she's like, looking up at him with those baby blues. I don't know how. I would not be able to focus with the baby blues. I am sorry, but the baby blues, I would not be able to focus on anything. But regardless, they're professionals. So, and then they started kissing and all that stuff because, they were speaking with their eyes, that unspoken whatever, love language, whatever. So, and Conrad saw, because where he was sleeping on the floor in the window and with facing, he saw that, which had to hurt, like in some way had to hurt, because I know that Conrad did love Belly and Belly did love Conrad, but they just weren't a match for each other. I mean, they had their moments, but it was just a whole freaking roller coaster that we've been on with Conrad and Belly. This is my opinion, just my opinion. But, I mean, everyone's great. All the actors are great and everything, and it's just, not everyone is meant for everyone, So, or not every, and the fact that, Belly and Conrad are now friends, just friends. Even though Conrad still loves her, but, they're like, I mean, he even gave the necklace back to her, which honestly, I would have almost okay, maybe I've thrown the necklace away, okay? But honestly, thrown the necklace away. Because, yeah, it is, but it's not just, a friend token thing. It's the love triangle thing. And, yes, it's a material object. Material objects don't mean much. But they sometimes do. So, because I feel like in the next season, Jeremiah's going to see it and he's going to be like, dude, why did you keep this? Do you still love him? All that stuff. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what me, this fan, is thinking about. But, I don't know. So, but yeah. So, I don't know. But I'm glad that Conrad and Belly are going to be parting as friends now. And that Jeremiah and Belly are going to be good together. And, of course, Steven and Taylor, of course. Of course, I love them. So I've been waiting for them to happen. Honestly, we all have been though. But yeah, and then, Belly's grown a lot, and I think she knows, or has known for a while, but is finally accepting that, Conrad is not for her, because that's what she had in her mind forever, But we have certain expectations of what our life's gonna be like, or who we're gonna be with, and then we get fixated on that. We try to fix it and try to make it work. That's what they did. But she's like, yeah, no, I can't. So I'm going to focus on the one. Instead of focusing on the one who doesn't want me, I'm going to focus on the one who does want me, which is Jeremiah. Team Jelly. Team Jelly, Jelly, Jelly. Team Jelly. Ocean Blue Eyes, because, why not? So, I love all the Taylor Swift songs, by the way. All the, I'm a Swiftie, so I love all the songs I do. But yeah, so... And this is gonna be really good for Conrad. It's bittersweet. I feel badly for him. I do, but I think this is gonna be a really good thing for him and Belly both. For both them to move on, and so Conrad can focus on himself because he's got a lot to work on. He's worked on a lot, but he's got a lot more to work on, and a lot of stuff to process and all that. With his mom's death, how to process that in healthy ways and all that stuff. Jeremiah has that too, but Conrad can just focus on himself and focus on school and bettering himself, because he's got areas to work on like everyone does. But this will be good. This will be a goodbye and all that. It's still gonna be awkward, of course, a little bit, but I think it's gonna be good. And I really hope Belly does not break Jeremiah's heart again, cause y'all, if she does, I can't even. I don't know. I can't even. So Lola Tongue, Jeannie Han, do not have that happen, because if Jeremiah's heart gets broken again, I don't know if he can get. I don't know if he will never be the same. I don't know what will happen. So I hope that he won't. But at the end, when he was watching her do her volleyball thing, and she was standing up for herself with her coach, and said that she's made mistakes and she should take responsibility a long time ago and all that stuff, and we didn't do well by her team and all that stuff, and but now I will, and all this stuff. I just want to show that I can still contribute something to this team. I think that was really not just about her and the team, but about just how far she's come as a character and her journey and all that, discovering who she is and who she isn't, and who she's actually supposed to be, and whatever, and who she's supposed to be with. That she deserves to be happy. She doesn't deserve this back and forth and this, oh, does he love me, does he not? And your relationship, if you really love that person, should not leave you confused, wondering where you stand 24/7, you know what I mean, or work on broken glass. And I feel like that was with her and Conrad for a lot of it. So, and then the way Jeremiah just looked at her and smiled, and she just looked at him and smiled, and I'm like, ah! Oh my gosh, it was so wholesome, so sweet. But yeah, so Summer I Turned Pretty, season 2, success.